call me. Call me. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. No, we don't need another meadow. There are meadows and rivers enough to cross. There are oceans and rivers enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love. Love, sweet love. Everybody needs love. Love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, and you'll find lots of love up in here. Repeat after me. There's lots of love up in here. I declare there's lots of love up in here. All right, hey, Reverend Ken, I think they're ready for us. What do you think? All right.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in St. Augustine. We're what the world needs now. We're love. You know, before we had this pandemic, I had a member who used to tell me that she called this place a 3-hug minimum church. That she knew that she would come here and she would get at least 3 hugs before she left out. And you know, the world needs a hug right now. We all need a hug. And I can understand people wanting a little distance. That's fine. We're going to get through this. And when we get through this, we're going to usher in a new day. We're going to usher in a new possibility. We're going to usher in a greater love, a more compassion, more kindness. This is the generation that Spirit is calling on, and we're stepping up to make it a reality. So know this morning you're in a good place. You're going to leave this place in some significant and powerful way, healed, blessed, and prosperous. And you know, the only thing you have to do, you only have one simple thing to do to make that happen. And that is to leave all your troubles, your fears, your would-haves, your could-haves, your should-haves, to leave all that stuff outside. And the next 45 minutes or so to open up an avenue of spirit possibilities in your life. And what are spirit possibilities? Well, they're for more love, more joy, more cookouts, more friends, more picnics, more fireworks, all those things in life that make us feel alive, because that's what Spirit is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love, our joy, and our laughter. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, Eddie, that's about all I can do to get them up out of their seats. See if you can do any better.
Clap your hands, y'all. Right here. Yeah. Woo! Now, if you feel comfortable, stand up. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to do something that's going to make you feel real good. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in your sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Hey, Ken, I think they get it.
They're getting it, yes. Sounding good.
Woo! Y'all sound so good to me. Here we go. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. In honor of the God in each other. Ooh, take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Give yourselves a hand.
Put all this good vibration, this love, this high energy, let's put it to work in our lives. And we do that through affirmative prayer. One powerful way we can do it is through affirmative prayer. And I can't think of anyone any better than Richard, our own Richard Austin, come up and give us an affirmative prayer. Come on up, Richard.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so this morning we're going to go right into quiet contemplation. So as you feel comfortable, sit back, relax, close your eyes, and let's go forward with this. I'm reading from Ernest Holmes, and so I'm channeling Ernest into this location this morning. And knowing here, he writes, I cleanse the windows of my mind that it may become a mirror, reflecting inspiration from the Most High. I do this not with strenuous effort, but through quiet contemplation, through gently reaching and affirming, and inward recognition. Today, I walk in the pathway of inspiration. The key that unlocks the treasures of the kingdom of good is in my hand. And I use this key now to open up that mind, to open the door to our greater good. I know that divine spirit is operating throughout this unity, this place, and throughout my mind and my life perfectly. Brings me into this knowledge of the divine spirit. This key unlocks my mind for my greatest good. I accept this now, knowing that it is perfect in every way. I open myself up to today's message, knowing that I have this opportunity to expand my mind, my ideas, my thoughts, my creations, and my greater good. I allow myself that opportunity to feel and to see this spirit guide me this morning. We release this to do its greatest good by saying together, and so it is.
Wonderful, Richard. Thank you so much. Eddie, bless us with some good music.
Now this song, I want you to feel free to sing along. It's a very popular song that's been recorded many, many times, but I think it's very appropriate for right now. All right? when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Brothers and sisters, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me. If the stars that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Brothers and sisters, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running and running and running and running to see you again. Oh, winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. You know that you got a friend. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by? Won't you stand by me?
Thank you, Eddie.
Namaste.
Eddie Watkins Jr., everyone. What a blessing. Thank you very much, Eddie. Well, with today being the 4th of July, I thought it was, of course, appropriate to talk about freedom because freedom is very powerful. And I don't care what Janis Joplin might have sang well back into my childhood. It's not just another word. Maybe if she had ditched old dusty, musty, hippie Bobby McGee singing his sad song, she would have come to a little bit of truth to that early on. If you can be around a hippie, have someone with flowers in their hair singing happy songs, I say. Now, the Buddhists have a saying about health that I think applies also to freedom. The Buddhists say that health is the one thing you take for granted, but when you lose it, it's the only thing you have on your mind. And I think the same thing is for freedom. We take it for granted, but if we're to lose it, that's what we're going to stay focused on, because life really can't be life if we're not free. And so I think it's appropriate at this time to give gratitude for our freedom, give gratitude for our nation, that we have freedom under law, and that while our nation hasn't had a perfect history, we didn't come from perfection. Nobody, we kind of invented this thing as we've gone along, and we've made mistakes, but for the most part, we really are striving for a more perfect union. We really are. And I think we are a bright, shining example of how diverse people in a diverse area. You think about our nation has from the desert to the mountains to the seas. I mean, we are very diverse, and somehow we've been able to pull together and come together and to try to form this more perfect union. And I think it's something good that we should celebrate. It's unique in human history, in the world, still is. So we want to give gratitude for our freedom because it is the thing we're striving for. Dr. Holmes says real freedom is when we know we're created in the image of perfection. We know we're created in the image of perfection, and that we're left alone to make that discovery for ourselves. And that's what we're doing here. We're making the discovery for ourselves that we have something within us that is perfect. And that thing that is perfect within us was gifted to us by the creator of the universe, and we can never destroy it. You can diminish it down to just a flicker, but you cannot destroy it. And given proper attention, you can allow it to burst forth in flames through your heart and soul. But it's ours to reveal and uncover. Even spirit will not force our good upon us. This is what Christ said in the Gnostic Gospels. He said that we all have this light within us, and that if we bring it out, it's going to take some courage, it takes effort. But if we bring it out, it will light the world. But if we leave it within, it will consume us. Now, understanding the truth of our being is the only thing which can set us free. We are bound because we are first free. And the power that binds us is the same power that frees us. The power that makes us sick, that makes us in poverty, lack, and limitation is the power that brings us health and wealth and every good thing. When we realize that we are one with the creative mind of the universe, Dr. Holmes says, when we know this, when we're convinced ourselves we are one with the creative power of the universe, we will free ourselves from every bondage of false thinking. And what's false thinking? We have a lot of that in our lives right now. False thinking is that we're alone on this journey, that we don't have a power with us helping us out, that life is more negative than it is positive, that it's full of lack and limitation. That's false thinking. And true freedom is always a spiritual question. It's always spiritual. And it has to do with our knowing in our innermost being that we are one with this power. And when we know this, there is nothing that can chain us. There's nothing that can handcuff us or put us into a prison. No one outside ourselves can rule us inwardly. And when we know this, we become free. That's what the Buddha said. It's the same conclusion that Viktor Frankl made many thousands of years later in the Nazi concentration camps. Victor was about to be appointed the heir of Sigmund Freud's Psychoanalytical Institute. And Freud got out of Vienna in time before the Nazis came in. Viktor Frankl did not. And all his family was sent to the concentration camps. And there he was, this brilliant young man, and he was determined to survive. And he said he realized that everything can be taken from us. Everything. But there's one thing that cannot be taken from us, and that is our ability to choose what we're going to focus on. That no one can take from you. He said that he was in the concentration camp. Imagine that, in this place of hell. That was hell on earth. He was there. And he said he walked past a mud puddle, and there was a skim of diesel on the top, and it reflected a rainbow. And he said, even in this hell, there was beauty. There was beauty. So we want to own that freedom for ourselves, because that's what's going to set us free. Dr. Holmes says to think that there is an intelligence in the universe that would create us bound and leave us bound and not have a way that we could have our freedom would be to dishonor that thing which we call God. Freedom and more freedom is what we're here to experience. The freedom to be yourself, your real self. That's what we're here to do. There's a wonderful Jewish story that I like. It was of a famous rabbi. And as this rabbi was making his transition, his students all gathered around his bed. And they asked the rabbi, "Are you worried that when you get to heaven, that God is going to ask you, why weren't you more like Moses? Why weren't you more like Abraham?" If I'd been the rabbi, I would have smacked them. You know, it's like, I'm sick enough and you're here asking me these kind of questions. The rabbi, being a little bit more spiritually advanced than I am, he spoke up and said, "I'm not worried about any of that." He says, "I'm worried that God's going to ask, why weren't you more of yourself? Why weren't you more of you? I approved you. I created you. I called you by name. Why would you let anything on earth hold you back from being your full self, your dynamic self, hold you back from bringing the blessing that is you to creation?" Now, much of the reasons we don't do that is because there's parts of ourselves we don't like. That's why we don't do that. But you have to fall in love with yourself, because you can't, if you don't love yourself, you can't love God. You are the closest to yourself of any of the other God creations. And so you have to fundamentally love yourself before you can give out love to anything else. Now, freedom is our birthright, and every living soul knows this instinctively. And when we listen to our inner voice, it will tell us of a wonderful life, a love beyond our fondest dreams, and a freedom which the soul craves. We crave freedom. Now, it can be difficult. I know we're going through some difficult times, and it can be difficult in times like this to still keep that vision for yourself. I had a week this past week. I told somebody, do y'all remember the cartoon? He was in the Bugs Bunny series. It was Sylvester the Cat. And Sylvester the Cat had his little boy, Junior, and they would stumble across a kangaroo, and they thought it was a big mouse. And the little boy would want his dad to go, get the mouse. And instead, the kangaroo would bounce him around like a basketball. And he would come back to the sun, and the sun would put a paper bag over his head. Oh, my father, the failure. That's the kind of week I had. I mean, I felt like a kangaroo had gotten a hold of me. And you remember Granny fighting the kangaroo on the Beverly Hillbillies? Well, that's what I felt. I was up against a kangaroo and I was down for the count. So what do you do when you have those weeks? We all do. What do? You cling. You look for a bright light of God's possibility and you cling to that. And what I clung to was those two kids, those two young boys we had up here last Sunday. We gave the Venus Manley Scholarship Program. I clung to those guys because those two guys were wonderful. They're dynamic. They're going to make the world a better place for being in it. And their enthusiasm encouraged and inspired me. So I drank that in the face of all my difficulties. And then go out and look for what good I can do. Look for how can I pass this blessing on? Because a little bit of encouragement can make the whole difference in the world. A little bit. I go to this gym that I'm convinced is trying to kill off us old people. And for some reason or another, who knew? But I have the right posture and everything on the rowing machine. They have these complicated rowing machines. Evidently, I do it very well because there's one coach, Coach Jason, who looks like Captain America left in the dryer too long. He's kind of a little short guy. And he points me out to everyone. You want to see good posture? There's Ken. He's got good posture. And so what am I doing? Boy, when I get that encouragement, all of a sudden I'm one of the rowers washing across the Delaware. I mean, I am going at it. A little bit of encouragement. A little bit. Also, this past week, I got together with a dear friend of mine. You know, we've been involved with the interfaith group here in St. Augustine. I've met many wonderful friends, the rabbis over at the temple, Swami Radhakananda, and Christian leaders as well. And I've become very close. In fact, I'm almost paternal, because most of them are a little bit younger than me. I'm almost paternal to them. I'm very protective of them. And it's very odd because, I did go through what I call an angry atheist stage of my life. And I wasn't very fond of Christian ministers, but these guys I just love. And I value what they're doing out in the world. And this guy, he's really doing some good stuff in the world. And of course, like everybody, he has his challenges. But by the end of the night, I was almost like, what was her name? Ethel Merman and what Gypsy? You'll do swell, you'll do great. Yeah, kind of weirded him out a little bit. But I wanted him to know, you're doing great. You're doing wonderful. And everything is coming up roses. I don't understand why people are so, fearful or worried or stuff. We're in a good place, our nation and our world. We're moving to a better understanding of more kindness and more compassion. So when you feel down and you feel out, you tell yourself, you're doing great. And when you do that and you pass that along, what that does is that revs up even more of that positive energy within yourself. We all crave a freedom. That's what we've come to do. And we're needed here. You're needed here now, in this place, at this time. Spirit called you out of stardust to be where you are and who you are. And through you and through me, through our hearts and soul, a new heaven and a new earth will evolve. It's not going to come down from us from the sky. If it did, we would reject it. We wouldn't be able to see it, wouldn't be able to know it. We've got to grow it through our hearts and souls. This is how a new heaven and a new earth is going to come about. And Spirit is calling on you. It has faith in you. It's never been discouraged by you. It's never doubted you. It's never been angry about you. It's far more inspired by your hopes and dreams than your mistakes. Emerson said, you have a right to be who you are right here and right now. And you'll never be happy until you step out into that true self. Our divine birthright is freedom and goodness. We've come to life to experience the joy of living. In fact, you are on a mission from God to recognize and give gratitude for the glory of love and compassion. And by recognizing those things, by giving thanks for them, we are expanding those blessings through our hearts and souls. We are in co-creation with God to bring about as much good as we can through our thoughts, our actions, and prayers. And our prayers are needed now more than ever. Pray for yourself. Pray for each other. Pray for this community. Pray for our nation and pray for our world. Our prayers are needed. They're vital. We're on the breakthrough of something wonderful, powerful, and joyful. We are not waiting on God. God is waiting on us to know something better, to be something better, to move on something better. So this morning, let's step out into our power and let freedom ring from steeple to steeple and shore to shore. We have the power. Spirit is with us. We have the knowledge and we are on the move. It's the truth. It is the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Here we all are, gathered together in this place. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Spirit, reveal. How do we know what's true and what's real? We may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter long as we believe that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. What's going on in this world today? Where do we fit? And what can we do to make a difference? What can we say? Where do we go? This way or that way? But if we all pray and truly believe, and don't you know we got to love one another so we can let the world see that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever, the question may be. To whatever the question may be.
Thank you, Eddie.
Namaste.
God is the answer. Whatever the question is, God. And if you have trouble thinking about God, instead say good. Good is the answer. And whatever your best idea for that situation, go with that. And if you go with that, you will never fail. It'll unfold in a even that or better way. So we know we support our center through our consciousness and coins. Consciousness is good prayer. Coin is money. And if you'd like to make a donation to us, we've got envelopes and you can put it in the box over there. And if you'd like to support us just in consciousness, either way, place your hand over your heart as I read our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe's abundance, and as I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Well, thank you in advance for your generous contributions. This center is off to good and powerful and wonderful stuff. You know, we introduced the 2 boys last week. There are 2 young men that got the scholarship. We've got 2 more coming up. We've got some money in the Elizabeth Clare Fund that we want to help women, battered women. This center is a bright beacon of hope and light, and your support is allowing us to make that beam even stronger. Because, dear ones, let me tell you, just like that lighthouse is over the shore, sending out a signal of hope to boats on the waters toss and turn. There are souls that are tossed and turned in our community this very morning, and they need this positive message. They need this place of love, a 3-hug minimum place where they can come in. So know your support is doing something good and powerful, joyful, and it's going to return to you multiplied abundantly. It cannot do otherwise. You're not going to outgive God. So know that whatever you give is going to return in some significant way, and your life is going to be healed, blessed, and prospered for it. All right, Eddie, give us some good music.
All right. I'm feeling so good behind that message. I think I'm going to do something that's really up-tempo, and you can clap your hands and you can stand up and dance if you want to, but I'm going to do this. Can you hear me? I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit. Woo! I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. Woo! I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. Woo! I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I think y'all alive this morning. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. One more time, y'all. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God.
All right, so I'm going to do a closing prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person. Take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, we'll hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning, that I am alive with the Spirit of God. I'm alive with the Spirit of good. I'm alive with the spirit of blessings, of love, hope, and compassion. These ideas, they radiate from me and they attract to me every great good that I am seeking. This morning, I see and choose to see myself as God sees me. Not as wounded, weak, or in despair, but bold and dynamic, courageous and strong with the knowledge of life and the power of God. This morning, I leave this building in some significant way, healed, blessed, and prospered. I know that I have come to life to see God's glory made manifest through my love and joy, health, and prosperity. Today, I know that the great goodness of God is flowing through me. So when I hear those fireworks booming overhead tonight and I see those beautiful colors, I'm going to say to myself, this is the glory of God being made manifest in my life. This is the power and demonstration of the great good of my life that is here and announcing itself, and for me to say yes to it. And this morning I am saying yes to all the goodness of God. This is my truth. I celebrate, I rejoice in this right knowing, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last thought. Your life, it's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God has called us to be. Until we see each other again, many blessings. This is Reverend Ken.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with our families in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. God bless you.
He's hurting me, but I'm going to come on the stage to hug.
All right, thank you, sir. So did you. Fantastic. Fantastic, kid. All righty.